Hola, soy yo, Vicky, otra vez. Vale, so today what we're going to do is, in this video, we're going to follow on from what I did in the last video, which was introduce you to the imperfect tense, the tense that we used to talk about what we used to do, we were doing. And what we're going to do with it today is we're going to look at some questions and answers, conversation practice using this tense, okay, which hopefully will clarify it more for you. Okay, so we are on page 43 in the Break the Language Barrier book. Oh no, we're not on page 43. Sorry, I've just got to look and see what page we're on. There we are. We're on page 47. We're on page 47 of the Break the Language Barrier book, level 2. At least you know these videos are live, don't you? Because all the mistakes that are thrown into them. Okay, so page 47, we're in the imperfect tense conversation practice if you have the book. If you don't have the book, don't worry, I'm going to be reading the questions so you'll know what we're saying, and I'll be answering them as well. If you do, if you would like to buy the book, you can buy it on any Amazon site, and Amazon are delivering at the moment as I'm making this video. So okay, so I hope you're all staying safe. Quédate en casa, that's the hashtag here in Spain, hashtag quédate en casa. And you know, we're a week, as this video goes out, we are a week now into our, well, people call it lockdown, but it's not really lockdown because we are allowed to go out and do essential things. So I mean, we're not allowed obviously to just wander around freely, which is a shame, but it's all for a good reason, as I'm sure we all understand, and it gives us an opportunity to do other things, like me doing these YouTube videos and you hopefully watching them and it helping you with your Spanish. So we always have to look at the positive. In my opinion, you've got to look at the positive in every situation. And I don't know about you, but what I've actually found this week is I've actually spoken to more people, like family and friends, that normally we message, you know, which is great. It's nice to keep in touch with messages too, but we've actually done a lot more speaking, probably because we've had more time. You know, we're all so busy these days. You know, there's always and oh yeah, so messaging is so easy. But it's been actually quite nice to actually sit down and have long telephone conversations with people. That, so I think that's a positive as well. But if you think of any other positives, put them in the comments below, because I think we have to stay positive when things like this are going on. And I know that I'm waffling on again, so sorry about that. Okay, so let's go back to the questions and answers. So in practice A on page 47, the first question is, presuming that you do live in the UK or did live in the UK. I need to change this because I have students from all nationalities. But where did you used to live in the UK? That's the question. So where did you used to live? We would just take the verb to live, vivir, and we put the ending on for the imperfect, which, as I say, is explained in the previous video. If you haven't watched the previous video, you really need to watch that before you watch this one, because that tells you the endings, etc. Sorry, excuse me, tea. Yes, it's again, it's tea. It's not vodka o'clock yet. Okay, so where did you live? Where did you used to live in the UK? Would be ¿Dónde vivías en el Reino Unido? ¿Dónde vivías en el Reino Unido? And I would say, yo vivía, I lived vivía en Manchester primero y después en Reading, ¿vale? Okay, and then número dos, where did you go to school? So remember, to go is one of the irregular verbs in this tense, only 3 irregular verbs. So ¿A dónde ibas a la escuela? ¿A dónde ibas a la escuela? Or you could use colegio también. But remember that colegio is a junior school. A high school is an instituto, but an escuela, I've used escuela because it covers, it's just school in general, it could be any school. Okay, so, ¿a dónde ibas a la escuela? I would say, iba a la escuela in Charlton-cum-Hardy, donde vivía. So I went to school in Charlton-cum-Hardy, which is where I lived in Manchester. Okay, and where did you used to play? Número tres. So that would be, the verb to play is jugar. So it would be, ¿dónde jugabas? Just that. Where did you used to play? ¿Dónde jugabas? And I would say, yo diría, jugaba en los campos y en la calle, ¿vale? Jugaba en los campos y en la calle. So I played in the fields and on the street. It was a lot, that's what we did then. I know children, unfortunately, can't really do that now, but that's probably another positive in a way at the moment, because that would be awful if at least they do have electronic things to play on, which they shouldn't be on all the time. But you might, I do feel sorry if any of you out there are parents and you're trying to entertain young children during this. I do feel for you, because obviously they have a lot of energy to use up. So yeah, difficult. So good luck. Okay, so where did you used to play? So number 4, what time did you used to get up when you were working? So we've got 2 verbs there. We've got the verb to get up and we've got the verb to work. So it would be a qué hora, at what time? Te levantabas, did you used to get up? Cuando trabajabas, when you were working. Now, you may well be still working, but a lot of really, I suppose this question, a lot of my students who come for classes, they're perhaps not working anymore. If they've retired early, not, there are all sorts of ages that come for my classes, but that's really, I suppose, why it's when you were working, because quite often when people come to Spain, then they don't work anymore, but then quite often they do. So anyway, I'm just explaining what the question was. So, ¿a qué hora te levantabas cuando trabajabas? And I would say, obviously I'm still working, but it's a bit different at the moment. But I'm trying to think what time. Probably I've always got up at the same time. So I would say, me levantaba a las 6 o 7. Yo soy una persona de la mañana. I am a morning person. Siempre, toda la vida. Bueno, menos teenager, adolescente, a lo mejor no, pero desde 20 años, 25 años, soy persona de la mañana, siempre. Okay, and then is that number 5? Sí, número 5, what did you used to do on Sundays? So, ¿qué hacías los domingos? ¿Vale? What did you used to do? So the verb to do is hacer. ¿Qué hacías los domingos? And I would say, again, it's probably exactly the same as what I do now, or not at the moment because we can't do it, or not for any length of time, but I would say, andaba con mi perro, or mis perros. Sí, siempre andaba con los perros. And then, where did you used to buy your clothes? So the verb to buy is comprar. So, ¿dónde comprabas la ropa? Where did you used to buy clothes? So if I'm thinking about where I used to buy them, in the UK, I suppose, I would say compraba mi ropa en Dios, muchas diferentes tiendas, ¿vale? Porque claro, en el Reino Unido ir de compras es muy bueno. I don't know what will happen now. Will people be able to go out and buy clothes? I don't think we can go out and buy clothes here at the moment, so I don't know what's happening there. Anyway, just another aside. Okay, where did you used to buy your clothes? What did you used to put on in the winter? So, to put on is ponerse, or you could use vestirse también, but I'm going to use ponerse. So, ¿qué te ponías en el invierno? Okay, and I would say me ponía botas, jersey, sombrero, una gorra y bufanda y guantes, muchas cosas, porque yo siempre tengo mucho frío. Okay, and then the next one. So what did you used to put on in the winter? Then número 8. What did you used to watch on the television on Saturday night? So that would be ¿qué veías? Remember, there is one of the 3 irregulars, so we don't take off the E, we only take off the R when we're conjugating that verb. You could use miraba as well, so veía o miraba, ¿qué veías o qué mirabas en la televisión los sábados? And I would say veía Factor X los sábados. Yeah, I probably used to watch X Factor. Okay, vale. So, vale, número 9. Did you eat in restaurants often? Or did you often eat in restaurants? So to eat is comer. So you would say comías. Did you used to eat? Is all in that one word. Comías en los restaurantes a menudo. So a menudo is often. So comías, or you could say a menudo comías en los restaurantes. And I would say in Inglaterra, no comía mucho en los restaurantes porque muy caros, cuestan mucho dinero. Pero aquí en España, sí, comía mucho en los restaurantes. I think we're all missing that, aren't we? And another thing that I think is going to be really positive, again, thinking positive, when this does finally end, I think there's going to be everybody's going to be wanting to go out. So the restaurants who obviously must be going through a difficult time now, hopefully will recoup some of their losses. I don't know about where you are, but certainly where I am, most of the restaurants at the moment, how long that's going to go on for, I don't know. They are doing takeaways, which is quite good. So, but it's not the same, is it? The nice restaurant experience, going out, having a meal put in front of you, and the whole social aspect of it. But so we miss that, but we'll get it back. Okay, so número 10. Did you play any sports? Bueno, so that will be, did you play? Jugar, jugabas, sports, deportes. So, jugabas deportes? Vale, perdona. And I would say, sí, en Inglaterra jugaba squash mucho. Well, it's not really sport, I suppose. Iba al gimnasio, por ejemplo. But an actual sport, I would say, sí, jugaba squash. Okay, vale. Y where did you, when did you used to go on holiday? So that'd be cuando, when. Did you used to go? So the verb to go is ir. So it'd be cuando ibas de vacaciones. And yo diría, cuando era niña, íbamos de vacaciones siempre en mayo, porque menos dinero, ¿sabes? Y luego iba de vacaciones, no tenía un tiempo especial para ir de vacaciones. Yo iba de vacaciones diferentes tiempos. Porque yo no tenía niños en Inglaterra. Vine aquí con mi hijo cuando él era un bebé, entonces yo no tuve que ir de vacaciones solo cuando vacaciones de la escuela, por ejemplo. So, don't know how well you understood that, but yeah, bueno, no lo traduzco, yo prefiero que tú escuchas e intentas comprender qué dije, ¿vale? Okay, so why did you want to come to Spain? Vale, so this one now, querer is the verb to want. You would rarely use the verb querer in anything but the imperfect tense, because when you wanted something, it's very difficult to put a beginning or an end on it. So this is why did you want to come to Spain? So you would say, ¿por qué venías? ¿Por qué querías? Why did you want venir to come a España? ¿Por qué querías venir a España? And I would say quería, because it's the same ending. So yo quería. Sorry, it's not the same ending. I'd make it clear that it was I. Yo quería venir a España para una vida mejor. Para una vida mejor. Okay. So why did you want to? Could you speak Spanish before coming here? So this is number 13. Could you speak Spanish before coming here? Now there's a couple of ways that you could ask this question. So you could use the verb to can, if you like. Poder, podías, were you able? Hablar español antes de venir aquí. ¿Podías hablar español antes de venir aquí? Or quite often in Spanish, they use the verb saber, to know how to do something. So you could say, ¿sabías español? Or ¿sabías hablar español antes de venir aquí? So a couple of different ways you could say that, but they're all in the imperfect. Yo diría, I would say, no podía hablar español antes de venir aquí. Or I would say, no sabía español antes de venir aquí. O no sabía hablar español antes de venir aquí. So a few different options there. Okay, número 14. When you were a child, did you know how to swim? So that would be when you were a child. Cuando eras niña, did you know how to? ¿Sabías nadar? Nadar is to swim. So, cuando eras niña, for me it'd be a niña, ¿sabías nadar? And I would say, sí, cuando era niña sabía nadar. Aprendí a nadar muy joven. Yeah. Okay. Y número 15. Where was your first house? Vale, so, ¿dónde estaba? So it's estar, because it's location. ¿Dónde estaba tu primera casa? Where was your first house? And I would say, mi primera casa estaba en Reading. ¿Vale? Okay, and then número 16, what colour was your first car? And the question would be, ¿de qué color era tu primer coche? ¿Vale? ¿De qué color era tu primer coche? Y yo diría, I would say, mi primer coche era beige. ¿Vale? Era beige. Y did you always do your homework? Vale. So, the verb to do, hacer. So, siempre hacías los deberes. Did you always do your homework? Siempre hacías los deberes. Now, if you've done this at home, you may have come up with tarea. That's South American. So, in Spain, we use deberes, but in South America, they use tarea. So, either is correct. And I would say, sí, yo siempre hacía mis deberes. I was very good at school in that sense. Y did you behave well at school? So to behave is, well, you can either use portarse or comportarse. So they're both reflexive. So I would say sí. Oh, sorry. So the question would be, ¿te comportabas bien en la escuela o te portabas bien en la escuela? And I would say, sí, siempre me portaba muy bien en la escuela. Y when you were a child, did you have any animals? So, cuando eras niño o niña, ¿tenías animales? And I would say, sí, cuando era niña teníamos algunos animales, hámster, pez de colores, yeah, goldfish, y Dios, no me acuerdo cómo decir budgie, but we had a budgie, but I can't remember these. Peli something, but I can't remember it. But anyway, there's a bit of homework to find out what budgie how to say budgie. It definitely begins with P. Vale, okay. And the last one, what did you want to be? So, ¿qué querías ser? What did you want to be? And it's ser because it's profession. So, ¿qué querías ser? And I would say, quería ser veterinaria. So, porque siempre me he gustado los animales. Pero veterinaria no es para mí. Ahora sé que no puedo ser veterinaria. Because I can't, I love animals, but I couldn't do the difficult things that you have to do if you're a vet. So, vale, muchas gracias. I hope you enjoyed practicing the questions and answers. If you have any queries, let me know. If you enjoyed the video, if you found it useful, never do it the right way, do I? Give me the thumbs up, please. And if you're new to this channel and you'd like to receive notification of upcoming videos, press the subscribe button. I've done it wrong again. Useless, absolutely useless. I'm not very good with my left and right at the best of times, and because this changes it round, it just throws me completely. So yeah, thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to receive a notification. I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you that have already subscribed. And if you're interested in doing any Skype classes, the Skype classes at the moment are €15 an hour while we're under this lockdown. And vale, ya está. So practica mucho, quédate en casa, stay safe, and hasta la próxima. Vale, muchas gracias. Hasta luego. Hi, this is Vicky from El Príncipe Centre, and in today's video I'll be having a conversation with my student Jane, and we'll be talking in the past tense today, in the preterite tense or simple past. I'll be asking her some questions and she'll be answering them, and then we'll swap over and she'll be asking me the same questions.
Vale.
¿Sí? ¿Lista?
Sí, lista.
Okay. Vale, número uno, which in English is what did you do last night? Jane, ¿qué hiciste anoche?
Encontré con mis amigos en el bar.
Muy bien. Y número dos, which in English is what time did you get up last Sunday? Jane, ¿a qué hora te levantaste el domingo pasado?
A las 8, a las 8 me levanté.
Muy bien. Y número tres, which in English is where did you go the day before yesterday? ¿A dónde fuiste anteayer, Jane?
Fui a Altea, Vicki, para ver a mi prima.
Ah, vale, muy bien. Y número cuatro, which in English is who did you speak to on Saturday? ¿Con quién hablaste el sábado, Jane?
Hablé con mi hermana, como siempre.
Muy bien. Vale, número cinco, which is what did your family give you for your last birthday? So, Jane, ¿qué te dio la familia para tu último cumpleaños?
Me dio una entrada del teatro, Vicki.
Ah, vale, muy bien.
Muy bien.
Y número seis, which in English is what film did you see, or which film did you see last month? ¿Qué película o cuál película viste el mes pasado?
Vi la película Mamma Mia.
Ah, vale, ¿y es buena película?
Más o menos.
Vale. Y número siete, which in English is what did you put on yesterday? ¿A qué te pusiste ayer, Jane?
Me puse pantalones y una jaqueta.
Vale, muy bien. Y número 8, when did you have your first Spanish class? So, Jane, ¿cuándo tuviste tu primera clase de español?
Tuve mi primera clase de español en enero.
Muy bien. Y número 9 is what time did you come to class? So, ¿a qué hora viniste a la clase, Jane?
Vine a la clase a las 2.
Muy bien. Y número 10, which also uses the verb venir to come. Why did you come to Spain? So, ¿por qué viniste a España?
Vine a España para pasar una vida tranquila.
Vale, ¿y tienes una vida tranquila?
Sí, sí.
Muy bien. Y número 11, which is what time did you go to bed last Monday? Which is ¿a qué hora te acostaste el lunes pasado?
Me acosté a las 11.
Muy bien. Y Jane, número 12, which is did you have a shower yesterday? ¿Te duchaste ayer, Jane?
Sí, me duché como todos los domingos.
Solo domingos.
Solo domingos, sí, sí, sí.
Y número 13, which is who did you see at the weekend? So, ¿a quién viste el fin de semana, Jane?
Vi a mis amigos y fuimos al cine.
Ah, muy bien. Y Jane, número 14, which is where did you speak Spanish yesterday? ¿Dónde hablaste español ayer?
Hablé español en el bar con mis amigos españoles.
Muy bien. Y número 15, la última pregunta, the last question. What was the last book that you read? So, ¿qué fue el último libro que leíste?
El último libro que leí fue Guerra y Paz.
Muy bien, muy bien. Good. So, that's me asking the questions and Jane giving her answers. And now we're going to swap over and Jane's going to ask me the same question.
Vale. Número 1. ¿Qué hiciste anoche, Vicky?
Vale, anoche. Anoche fui al restaurante Wok con mi hijo.
Bien. Número 2. ¿A qué hora te levantaste el domingo pasado?
Vale, el domingo pasado me levanté más tarde que normal a las 9.
Bien. ¿Y dónde fuiste anteayer? Número 3.
Vale, anteayer fui al supermercado para comprar.
Bien. Número 4. ¿Con quién hablaste el sábado?
Vale, el sábado hablé con mi hijo.
Bien. Número 5. ¿Qué te dio tu familia para tu último cumpleaños?
Vale, para mi último cumpleaños mi familia me dio perfume.
Qué bien. Número 6. ¿Qué película viste el mes pasado?
Vale, el mes pasado no sé si vi una película, creo que vi Harry Potter el mes
No me
pasado.
digas, Harry
Sí,
Potter.
sí, en Netflix, sí.
Bien. Número 7. ¿Qué te pusiste ayer?
Vale, ayer me puse pantalones y un jersey.
Bien. Número 8. ¿Cuándo tuviste clase? Perdón. ¿Cuándo tuviste tu primera clase de español?
Tuve mi primera clase de español hace 22 años.
Wow.
Mucho
Increíble,
tiempo.
sí. ¿A qué hora veniste a la clase? Número 9. 9, perdón.
Sí, vine a la clase, bueno, a esta clase a las 2, como tú.
Número 10. ¿Por qué viniste a España?
Qué difícil.
Sí,
Vine a España para vacaciones, pero todavía estoy aquí.
Sí, perfecto. ¿Qué vacaciones?
Wow. Largas vacaciones, sí.
11. ¿A qué hora te acostaste el lunes pasado?
Vale, el lunes pasado me acosté a las 11.
Bien. ¿Y te duchaste ayer?
Me duché ayer, sí.
Bien. 13. ¿A quién viste el fin de semana?
Bueno, vi a mi hijo el
bien.
fin de semana.
Bien. Como siempre, ¿no?
Como siempre.
14. ¿Dónde hablaste español ayer?
Vale, hablé español ayer con la chica en el supermercado.
Bien, ok. 15. A la última. ¿Qué fue el último libro que leíste?
Vale, el último libro que leí, es que ahora no leo libros,
No.
Jane,
¿No?
pero el último libro que leí,
¿Inglés? ¿Español?
no, fue sobre Anne Boleyn, un libro de historia,
Sí.
pero no me acuerdo el nombre del libro.
Una historia triste, ¿no?
Sí, muy triste, pero muy interesante.
Bien.
Sí.
Gracias.
Vale, gracias. Bueno, so if you want to know more about past tenses, all the past tenses are in the Break the Language Barrier Level 2 book, which is available on all Amazon sites. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe for more videos. Thank you.
Adiós.
Adiós.
Hola, soy yo, Vicky de El Príncipe Center, otra vez. ¿Cómo estáis? Espero que todo bien contigo. Y bueno, y espero que hayas practicado mucho el español. Vale, hoy, bueno, hablo en inglés mejor. Today, what we're going to look at is a conversation practice using the present perfect, which we've been looking at in previous videos. The present perfect is the tense that we use to talk about things we have done. So anytime we're saying what we have done, we use the present perfect, which in Spanish we make using the verb haber, H-A-B-E-R, and the past participle of what we have done. If you don't know this tense, before you watch this video, you'll need to watch the video that explains about the present perfect tense, because this is a follow-on from that and it presumes that you do know that already. If you're looking at the book, if you're following this video from one of the Break the Language Barrier books, I always do it the wrong way. This is Break the Language Barrier level 2 that we're in, the pain barrier, probably the hardest level, the level 2 with the past tenses. And we are on page 23, página 23, and we're doing the conversation practice present perfect using ever, or which in Spanish is alguna vez. If you don't have the book, but the series of books, but you would like to buy them, they are available on Amazon. Break the Language Barrier, there are 4 levels. But as I always say, you don't need the book to follow the tutorial on YouTube. I will explain it on the video, and also I will read the question out in English first so you know what it is we're saying if you haven't got it written down in front of you. However, you will need to have done the previous tutorial on the present perfect before you can do the conversation practice on the present perfect. Okay, so here we go. So yeah, we're on page 23. Practice A, conversation practice. So we've got a series of questions that you had to translate into Spanish and then answer in Spanish. So I'll be translating them into Spanish and giving my answers. Now, you can only really check the questions. Of course, your answers are particular to you. So your answers are free answers, if you like. But please, if there's anything you want me to check, anything you're not sure of, any difference you had in making the question with the way I make the question, any queries whatsoever, you can always email me, contact me through the website, and I'll be happy to answer any queries that you might have, anything that you're not sure about. Also, if there's anything that you particularly want covered on a YouTube video to do with learning Spanish, please ask and I'll be happy to do a video on that basis. Thank you for all the messages that I've had from people saying how they've enjoyed the videos. That's great, and I'm so pleased about that. I mean, the aim of the videos obviously is to help you learn Spanish, and hopefully that's what's happening. Okay, so we'll go to number 1. So first, tea always important, and it is tea, honestly. It's not vodka, or not yet. Later on today, maybe. So, number 1, have you ever been in Mexico? Now, have you ever been? Now, been is a funny participle because there's actually 3 ways we can say been. We can use it in Spanish. We can use the verb ser, we can use the verb estar, or we can use the verb ir, because depending on, obviously, it's depending on whether it's ser or estar. First of all, you have to work out, is this a case where we use ser or a case where we use estar? And if it was to use ir, the verb to go, we could use it with this question, but it would be, the phrasing in English would be more, have you ever been to Mexico? So in that case, we'd say, ¿has ido alguna vez a México? The alguna vez can more or less go anywhere. You can say, ¿alguna vez has ido a México? Or, ¿has ido a México alguna vez? But as I say, that would more probably be being to Mexico. Have you ever been in Mexico? That is location, and we would use estar for location, not ser. If you're not sure about ser and estar, there are lots of tutorials about ser, estar, comparing ser and estar. So it's, you know, ser and estar is just a lifelong battle really into deciding which one. So it's always worth watching those and practicing that as much as possible. So let's say, ¿has estado alguna vez en México? And I would say, no, nunca he estado en México. So now, nunca, there is another place you can put nunca as well. But if you put nunca later on in the answer, in the sentence, you would have to use a double negative and say, no he estado en México nunca, or no he estado nunca en México. I'm a great believer in doing whatever's easiest. So for me, it's easier to put the nunca at the beginning, then you don't have to think about a double negatives, and then you don't have to worry about where the no goes, where the nunca goes, etc. So, no, nunca he estado en México. ¿Vale? Número dos, I always give my students an extra point if they find this word in the dictionary rather than just presume it's the same as in English, because the number two is, have you ever seen a UFO? And there is a special saying for UFO in Spanish. So have you ever seen, the verb to see is ver, it's an irregular past participle, visto. So you'd say, ¿has visto un ovni alguna vez? Or alguna vez has visto un ovni? And of course, you can say UFO, but of course, UFO stands for unidentified flying object. So it's an English expression or American expression, whichever. It's not Spanish. So Spanish, we use ovni, which is OVNI. And I think that stands for objeto volante no identificado. So, ¿alguna vez has visto un ovni? And I would say, sí, he visto un ovni. So, I think I have, but not sure. So, muy bien. Y número tres, has visto, again, because it's have you ever seen a ghost is number three. So, has visto alguna vez un fantasma? Now, fantasma ends in A, but it's actually masculine. Has alguna vez, or has visto alguna vez un fantasma? And again, I would say sí, he visto un fantasma. Número cuatro, have you ever lived in another country? Sorry, excuse me. So to live is vivir. Vivir is a regular past participle. So we take off the IR, we add ido. Have you ever lived? ¿Has vivido alguna vez en otro país? So note that country as in England or Scotland or Spain is país, not campo. When you look up country in the dictionary, campo might come up, but that's the countryside more than, an actual country that you live in. Okay, so alguna vez has vivido en otro país? And I would say, sí, he vivido en Inglaterra. Y número cinco, we're back to the verb see again. Have you ever seen? ¿Has visto alguna vez a robbery, which is un robo? ¿Alguna vez has visto un robo? And unfortunately, I would say sí, he visto varios robos. Y número 6. Now, this is, have you ever won? Have you ever won a prize? And the verb to win is ganar, which is the same verb as to earn. So you win your money in Spain, not only earn it, and it's the same verb for win and earn. So, has ganado, it's a regular AR verb. So, alguna vez has ganado un premio, a prize. So, and I would say, sí, he ganado un premio alguna vez, ¿vale? Oh, sorry, my battery just seems to have unplugged itself. It must be the phantasma. Oh, how strange. Right. Momentín. Yeah. Oh, sí, el fantasma ha desenchufado el ordenador. Qué raro. Bueno, okay. So, I have to remember where I was now. Sí, ¿has ganado un premio alguna vez? And I would say, sí, he ganado un premio alguna vez. Number 7. Have you ever missed a flight or a train? Now, to miss, this is not the verb to miss as in missing a person. So, to miss a person is echar de menos. It's a phrase. To miss a flight, miss a train, that's in that sense, we use the verb to lose, perder. So it's like almost saying, have you ever lost a flight or a train? So we would say, has perdido, because it's an ER verb, alguna vez, un vuelo o un tren. O alguna vez has perdido un vuelo o un tren? And I would say, sí, he perdido un vuelo o un tren. Now, número 8, have you ever lost all your money? Is, again, it's perder, to lose. So, has perdido alguna vez? O alguna vez has perdido todo tu dinero. Y yo diría no he perdido o nunca he perdido todo mi dinero. Okay, número 9. Have you ever had an accident? So the verb to have, of course, is tener. It is regular in this tense. Tener is quite often an irregular verb in most tenses, but in the past participle it's regular. So it's has tenido or alguna vez has tenido un accidente. And I would say, bueno, sí, he tenido un pequeño accidente en coche alguna vez, pero muy pequeño, nada serio, nada grave, nothing serious. Y número 10, have you ever studied German? Well, study is estudiar, that's a regular AR verb. So the question would be, ¿alguna vez has estudiado alemán? And I would say, sí, he estudiado alemán muchas veces. Y número 11, again we're back to the verb have. Have you ever had a dog? So, ¿alguna vez has tenido un perro? And I would say, sí, siempre he tenido un perro. I've always had a dog. Bueno, no cuando era niña, no. Pero desde 26 años, desde 26, 27 años, he tenido un perro siempre. O dos. Y número 12. This is, have you ever met anyone famous? Now, the verb to meet is an interesting one in Spanish because there are 3 different ways of saying the verb to meet that we in English we use meet. So there's meeting up with somebody when you arrange to meet someone. And when you arrange to meet someone in Spanish, you use quedar. Then there's bumping into somebody. You know, if you just bump into someone outside but you're not expecting to see them, that's encontrar. Con. And then to meet somebody, which probably would be the verb that we would use here, to meet somebody for the first time is conocer. So to make this question, we would say, ¿Alguna vez has conocido a personal a? If you don't know what the personal a is, it's mentioned in previous tutorials, just when the verb that we're using actually applies to a person. So, ¿Alguna vez has conocido a alguien famoso? And I would say, sí, he conocido a algunas personas famosas. Y número 13. Now, this one is, have you ever been to the United States? So if we're saying, have you ever been to, we would use ir. So, ¿alguna vez has ido a los Estados Unidos? And I would say, no, nunca he ido a los Estados Unidos. Número 14, number 14. Have you ever done anything silly? So the verb to do is hacer. It's an irregular past participle. So it becomes hecho. So, ¿alguna vez has hecho algo tonto? And I would say, sí, muchas veces he hecho algo tonto. Vale. Y número 15, have you ever written a poem? Now, the verb to write, that's another irregular past participle. So, not escribido, it's escrito. So, have you ever written a poem would be, ¿alguna vez has escrito un poema? And then we've got number 16. Have you ever cooked for more than 20 people? So the verb we're going to use is cocinar, to cook. It's a regular verb, an AR verb. So, ¿alguna vez has cocinado para más que 20 personas? Y número 17. Oh, sorry, I need to answer that. I don't think I wrote the one about the poem either. I answered the one about the poem. So, ¿has escrito, alguna vez has escrito un poema? And I would say, sí, he escrito un poema. And then the next one, have you ever cooked for more than 20 people? ¿Alguna vez has cocinado para más que 20 personas? And I would say, sí, he cocinado para más de 20 personas. Y número 17, have you ever bought anything really expensive? So, to buy is comprar, regular AR verb, so it'd be comprado. ¿Alguna vez has comprado algo muy caro? And I would say, sí, sí, he comprado algo muy caro porque la casa. Y número 18, have you ever bought a red car? So again, it's the verb to buy and the past participle is comprado. ¿Alguna vez has comprado un coche rojo? And I would say, sí, he comprado un coche rojo. Me gusta mucho el color rojo. Y número 19, have you ever spoken to a stranger on a train? So the verb to speak is hablar. What we always have to remember is that in Spanish you speak with people. So we always use con with hablar, not a. So, ¿alguna vez has hablado con un desconocido en un tren? And I would say, sí, muchas veces he hablado con un desconocido en un tren. Oh, y número 20, have you ever told a lie? Well, so to tell is decir, it's irregular, it's dicho. So have you ever told is alguna vez has dicho, and a lie is una mentira. Y I would say, sí, he dicho mentiras blancas. ¿Comprendes? Pequeñas. Solo mentiras blancas, ¿vale? Okay, muy bien. So as I say, anything you're not sure of that you didn't maybe follow in that and you want to ask me, please go ahead and ask. If you found the video useful, please give me a thumbs up. Oh, not down, up. And if you want to. And if you want to receive updates of new videos coming out, please press subscribe and you'll be notified when new videos come out. Again, as I say, if you think the book will be useful to you, or the books, because there's level 1, level 2, level 3 and level 4. We're currently looking at level 2, which has really got most of the past tenses in, so it's a very important level. You can buy it on, well, either through my website or on any Amazon site. Thank you for watching and como siempre, hasta la próxima. Muchas gracias. Adiós.